AIDS is not the only project you're working on to prevent diseases. Can you tell us a little bit more about your upcoming project?
My next project on preventing preventable diseases is on malaria. Every 30 seconds, a child dies of a preventable disease called malaria. We know how to prevent it. We know that if you use bed nets, you're not likely to get malaria. So what we are doing is creating 30 spots in at least 30 languages, which will be spread around the world, just like the HIV/AIDS program we spoke about was. And I hope that millions of people around the world, especially in Africa, where over 90% of the fatalities happen because of malaria, watch these PSAs and start using bed nets. You know, I have stood in the middle of African townships, and I have watched people dying of preventable diseases as far as the eye can see. They are literally sometimes on the road because their huts are too hot to sleep in. They're actually outside in the shade, and you can actually watch people dying before your very eyes, not in a hospital, but in townships outside in the open. It is a very, very difficult image to have in your mind that a child under 5 is dying of a preventable disease. And we have to educate parents about how to protect themselves against malaria, and that's what we're trying to do. I think that we have an opportunity to eradicate malaria, just as we have had an opportunity to eradicate smallpox in the world. Ironically, we're facing a downward spiral in this regard. As the world warms up, more and more anopheles mosquitoes, which carry the malaria parasites, are now entering northern countries. So we suddenly have malaria popping up in places like Italy and southern Spain, where malaria hasn't been seen in decades, if not a couple of hundred years. And as the world warms up, many diseases are going to move north from the south into northern countries. And we have to be cognizant of that, and we have to make sure that we have the protection, the communications and the medical and the political strategies necessary to avoid mass deaths because of these preventable diseases.